Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make several cards using the Magical Mermaid Inspiration Box from Brutus Monroe. Unfortunately, the box has sold out in record time, but you still can get the stamp set, which is the See You Soon stamp set at Brutus Monroe. This stamp set came in the box. You also can get the die. The die is escaping me the name for it now. This is also sold individually, and you may get this as well. You may get, also available still is the mermaid skin paper in 2 different colors. I'm going to use the pink today. And I believe the card panels, which I've used a few of them, are available as well. So today I'm going to start out with some aqua pigments. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video. I did try to get a lot of stuff ready, just to like die cutting, a little bit of coloring, things like that, so I could get the main things out of the way. But I'm going to start with the 2 cards that are going to take a little while to dry, and they may not dry in time with this video, and if not, I will post those later, or I will do a second part to add on. So let's just get started. I stamped out a variety of the images from the See You Soon stamp set onto some watercolor paper using the Brutus Monroe embossing ink and the Raven embossing powder. I'm going to grab it quick, I apologize. The Ultrafine Raven embossing powder. And I'm going to do a little bit of watercoloring. I am not a watercoloring expert. I'm just like to play, and that's kind of my thoughts when I tell people it's kind of a way to get out of your comfort zone and just do what you want, and just play. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water in the bottom of this, in my little cup here. And then I have a brush here. I'm going to use a variety of aqua pigments. I have no really sure what I'm going to do. I just thought I'd grab a few and go for it. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment a little bit today and put some color down. I did use the embossing powder so that I could just kind of play and let it puddle on its own and just see what it can do. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab, this is just the blue, and I just put a little bit on my side of my glass media mat. I'm not sure if that's on the camera, but I'm just going to go ahead, and you do not have to dilute the aqua pigments at all. You can paint directly with them, but I thought today would be fun to just let the color kind of do its thing a little bit and move itself around. I said I'm not a watercolorist expert by any means, so I did decide to use some embossing powder today to try to get the aqua pigments to stay in the little wells. I didn't really want too much of a messy watercoloring today, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of fast watercoloring, especially once I get to the background. And we'll see how that goes. So, like I said, this is just the blue, and I did forget to paint a little water in there, so I'm just going to add some watercolor in there. And I need to grab a quick paper towel to wipe I should have grabbed an extra bottle of water, but a lot of this is going to go back and forth between different things, so it's if the colors mix a little bit, it'll be okay. I think next I'll do the little puffer fish here, and let's see what color. I'm going to use coral, I decided, I guess. I'm just going to grab like random colors. I don't have my metallic shaken up, so I may not have use a bunch of those today. But so you can see how, since I put the water on this, I'm going to actually dab some of that off too much water, which takes up the color. But I put in too much water, so that really diluted that color. Like I said, I'm just going to do some fast, quick watercoloring. I'm going to, just to make it fun, I'm going, let's see, let's do her hair next. I don't want to use a lot of water, so I'm going to try to pull this out. I just wanted to wet the water a little, the paper a little bit, just to help move stuff along. And I'm actually going to use, I don't want the yellow, I'm going to use the yellow sparkle, which I need to shake up pretty good, because it has a little bit, see all that shimmer on the bottom there? And I should have done that ahead of time, I apologize. I'll do some of the blueberries, one of my favorites, so I'll try to get some of that shaken up too. I want to use some of that today. Alright. Like I said, I apologize, this video may go a little long, but I have a bunch of cards ready for you, and I thought this would be a fun way to show different ways you can use the inspiration box and or elements from them if you need to. I tried not to grab too much from other things, but I did, because I have the number of cards I have. I do have a few stamp sentiments in particular that I grabbed from other sets in my stash. And we all seem probably have some fish sets or swimming sets. Mermaid, maybe another mermaid set that might have a saying that would work with them. So alright, we got that. And next we need, let's try some of this blueberry. I guess blueberry is one of my favorites. Blue and like a teal blue, which I'm just going to paint this. I should have added some water, but I didn't. Yeah, I'll grab a little water just to, oops, it's too much water. Suck that up with some of that. I would recommend, if you don't really know how to watercolor, or you're afraid to watercolor, just to try it. Sometimes the way I started doing a little bit of watercoloring, to be honest with you, is I made some backgrounds and kind of played with that. You know, and tried to do some more loose watercoloring or played with some flowers. And remember, it's art, it's subjective, it's handmade, so you can make the colors whatever you want. You know, you can look up colors on the web if you want. Sometimes I do that, but a lot of times I just decide to go with the color I found and I go with it. So you know, or learning how to do like a rainbow with watercolor, sometimes that's a good way to learn how to do some watercoloring and how it moves. You really kind of have to play and not worry so much about what happens. Said I got a little bit right there, a little bit right there. Just take a little water, maybe try to, but since it's going to be a blue background eventually anyway. I left some of that open because I think I might add some purple in there and might give her shells purpleness too. Oh, I noticed just a little tiny spot of hair I missed right here. And I got a little bit on her skin. Like I said, I probably need a smaller paintbrush. So, if you want a darker color, you'd have to let it dry before you can put more color down. I may want that fish to be bigger, or brighter, so I might change it to a different color. Let's see, I'm going to grab some blue-green, which is just one of the regular colors. There's a variety. There's metallics, there's pearls. I don't have any of the pearls yet, that they look delicious. I can't wait to have some of those. They're in my to shopping buy list in the future here. And to be honest with you, I might leave him, because they're little cartoony characters, I might leave his eyes white. But I am thinking I'm going to maybe mix a couple of these I'm going to mix the blueberry and the blue-green together on this little fishy here. And the blueberry has a little bit of sparkle in it, so they just match together real well. Alright, and then I need to find the purple that I wanted to use. I have the lavender, and it also has some more of the metallic stuff in it, so I need to shake it really good. I just keep all my aqua pigments in a fridge bin under my desk, so that they're easy to get to. I'm going to add a little water to those spots here, just to help it flow a little bit. If I get a little too much water on my brush, I put it off to this, because I don't want a ton of water. Not for this. That's just small areas. I try to do some, if I'm going to have areas that are similar to each other. See, these are going to meld a little together because the teal and the blue, which is fine. I might just grab just a hair of that to mix in with that and let them do their thing. And then grab some purple and go in here with the shells. There's a little too much water in there, so I'm just going to sop that up. Give our shells just a little purpleness. All right. So the one thing I'm not sure I know I have a good color for is the skin color. So I think, let me see if I have, mermaids are just a fun, so I'm gonna make her, might make her gold, you know, shimmery. To me, that's, you know, mermaids are supposed to be such a fun, so I've got the metallic, the antique, or the aqua pigment and gilded, and we're just gonna see what she looks like as a gold. Like I said, I have just a little bit aqua pigment on the side, add just a little water to her face in some areas just so it spreads by itself. Loose watercoloring is a good way to learn how to do some watercoloring too, where you just kind of do it light. I might not mix this up quite enough to give her, but I don't want her white skinned, you know, like the paper white. That's way too light, especially for living in the ocean. But I may grab some copper penny just to give her some more color. So if I can get the gold shake up just a little bit more in metallic, sometimes you get shake them up. You can see a lot of that still left on the bottom. Shake them up, roll them around. Sorry if that's giving you a little bit of a seasickness there. There, that looks a little better. It was a little not so colorful on my desk here. I'm going to give her just a little golden sheen. And I did, because I'm using such a big brush, I did go a little bit over the edge, which is fine. Grab my heat tool here, try to set what I can. I know I still have to do the flowers there too, but they're very little. Let's see. Let's going to get a little bit more into her bangs there. All right, so now I'm just going to get my heat tool out a little bit. Let's wash off my brush a little bit. And we're going to try to set some of this. sparkle in her hair. And she's definitely looking a little more gold. Alright, let's add, you know what? I want that fish to be just a little bit of a different color. Let's add the magenta, actually. Magenta aqua pigment. I want that fish just a little bit brighter. There we go. I like that little bit more pink. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can add just a little bit more gold to the face. There's a lot of gold sitting right there in her eyes, so I wipe that away a little bit. They show up a little bit better here. Just fill in a couple of spots that look like they might be just a little bit too much more like the water, the paper color. Okay, so this is the kind of scary part when it comes to watercoloring. Ooh, I added way too much water. I added, see, I just took away that color a little bit there on the side. But this is going to be the scary part. I need to do a background, right? And I'm going to try to use a bunch of the colors we already used to make a background. So I think what I'm going to do is just rub some water in variety parts of the background. So we're just going to do a real fun, kind of a loose look, and I'm just going to drop some water in there in different pigment paints and let it go. And just see what happens here and move it around. Make it a bigger paintbrush here. Let's add some purple. Sometimes this is the fun part. I may have to put this aside and finish this up, like I said, a little bit later, because this video is going to get kind of long. And even rub it around a little bit, get some texture, because the sea is not just going to be one solid color, right? Go in a little careful here. Sorry about that. I don't always talk when I'm trying to concentrate on those short little areas, just because I don't want to screw that up at all. Alright, we're going to get some more water up in here. Alright, I'm going to click a quick pause here on my video and finish that up, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's done. I'll continue to do what I was doing. See you in a couple minutes.